Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the DotaPit League, season number 3. It is game 2 between Complexity Gaming and MeePwn here in the lower bracket. Well, Complexity Gaming, they need a victory. Otherwise, they are done. They will be out of the qualifiers for DotaPit. They will not move on to the group stages. MeePwn are in a very solid position. 2 games for them to take this series. And, well, if anything, the first group is a pretty good indication of this where the series was going. All they have to do is just take the series and boom, they'll be moving on again. My name is Mont. With me today is Montpax and Trouf. Trouf, we just witnessed an absolute stomp in that first game. What do you expect here for the second game coming out of both of these squads?
Well, I think as you mentioned, MeePwn just doing more of the same. I think they had a well-balanced lineup to deal with what Complexity had right off the bat. And like I said, with Complexity showing their cards right out of the gates with the Wisp Tiny, it gives, like I said, it gives a team some time to think about how they want to combat that. And so they had a very well balanced lineup of one being able to deal with the relocates with the Void. They picked it up early. They had decent carry on with both the Sniper and the Void, and they had good supports to deal with it as well. Like they had a very fast Sand King Blink Dagger. So for MeePwn, it's more of the same. It's just draft according to what Complexity is doing. Complexity, they just need to make sure that clearly they had a plan in mind. They drafted that Wisp Tiny very, very quickly. They knew they wanted to try it. But they just need to be a little bit more realistic about how things are going to go and rotations that might happen. Every single time they weren't expecting a rotation from the Vengeful Spirit or the Sand King or what have you.
Yeah. And
it happened every single time. So they need to account for the support heroes when they're going for ganks like that. And if you know that they're maybe around, they're missing out of their lane and not pulling, then maybe think a little bit, think twice about going or not.
Yeah, that was the big issue, I think, for Complexity in that previous game, was just the rotations came too fast and furious from MeePwn, and honestly, that was the killing factor for them. So for Complexity, we'll have to see what they draft this time around. They didn't seem too comfortable with that Tiny IO combo, but at the same time, doesn't really matter. They have a new game to start fresh. And you talked about Hani's Blink Dagger timing. And actually, you asked if that was the fastest timing for a Sand King. And here in the Skype chat, Mopax did post that it was the fastest because the previous fastest Yule's Blink Sand King, was 23 minutes. Hani got it about 16, like you said. So nobody's touching that record for a while, probably. And
yeah.
We'll see how the rest of the game pans out. Now, what hero they grab for Hani? They have the Juggernaut Magnus. That actually is a super solid combination. And Power plus Omni slash Juggernaut's right click in general is pretty damn good. So,
yeah, it's really good. I love Magnus with melee carries. Any melee carry, honestly. And some range carries, too. I think Magnus with Luna, for example, is really strong. Just because the glaives bounce around. Or Medusa. Magnus with Medusa. I think Magnus is a really, really good hero. The problem is finding a competent Magnus player, which it's a little bit easier said than done, honestly. The hero is not that easy to play. You have to be very, very confident with your blink skewers is the biggest thing. I still to this day don't see many people that are comfortable with let's call it the S4 RP, where what you do is you turn your hero before you actually RP. It looks like you're turning while you RP, but no, you actually turn before it. And it makes it very, very easy to set up the skewers immediately, whereas most people just blink in skewer, turn their hero around, blink in RP, turn their hero around, and then skewer. But if you do the S4 Magnus way, it's a lot. One is a lot more flashy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And 2, it's actually a little bit more effective. So I'm waiting to see, but I do think that Magnus is a finesse player or finesse hero. I don't think it's that easy to play at the highest of level. and we'll have to see what build they go for. I personally love the Sumail build, and you'll have to watch Sumail at DAC, who's the new mid player for EG, for those of you that don't know, but he plays a really, really good Magnus, probably one of the best. And he likes to go for a very greedy build with the Treads Midas into Blink. Or he might go Treads Blink Midas depending on the game, but we'll have to wait and see who does that. I think Wee's their mid player, so probably going to be him playing that.
Yeah. I actually saw there was a couple of days ago where I was casting NEL with you guys, and Sumail did have a very solid Magnus game, but at the end of the game there was PPD.
Oh, he was
Chen.
RPing Chen creeps.
Yeah, he was RPing the Chen creeps, dude. I was just like, Sumail, please. And every single time he did it twice, man. I was like, what? Come on, man. Like the only way you guys were getting back in that game, you had a ridiculous. You were playing the Darkseer. I remember that game.
Yeah.
And you vacuum walled, and there was like a Yugi black hole on top of it. I was going nuts. That was crazy.
We finally got it off and we wiped him.
And then after that, you guys lost the game, I think, or something.
And then we were ulting more. We were RPing more Chen creeps.
That's unfortunate.
He's like, Chen. He's like, got the Aghanim Scepter. Just ult those. What were those? The Granite Golems.
Yep. He was bringing the Granite Golems, getting the extra HP. It was actually pretty funny. They were just walking around those stupid freaking Golems, man, and like
they're so slow too, and like they don't do anything. They just sit there and like, yeah.
It was pretty rough because, like, you and Yugi were doing your part. You were getting off decent ultimates. Then Sumail would, like, end the game by just RPing Chen groups. It was getting ridiculous. So
I had some pretty bad vacuums, though, so it wasn't all on Sumail. But I will say I've seen better RPs.
I have as well. That was a pretty fun game to watch. So, yeah. But now we are here. It's actually DotaPit we got going on. Magnus picked up Line as well, and maybe thinking about an Acceptor somewhere down the road. Probably not, but pretty solid hero as a support right now. And I think he's seeing a lot of play for good reason. You can't always get that Vengeful Spirit, and you need another reliable support. Line is one of those reliable supports. The nuke damage coming out at level 6 is more than enough to provide for kills. And honestly, Earth Spike and Hex are pretty solid abilities. So
they're really good against Puck. Just good in general as well. And Lion's been buffed so much that while he used to be a pretty bad laner, but was good in the mid to late game as a support, they've kind of changed that. So now he's good at all phases of the game. So yeah, Lion's been a premier pick as of the last month and a half or so, and I think it was a smart ban out from MeePwn to ban out this Draw Ranger. When you're showing Venge Puck, it's a very common thing for teams to draft the Drow as well because it gives you double aura. It provides you with the extra damage for one of the best mid laners in the game with Puck, who benefits from that. So I like the ban out from the Drow. Spirit Breaker coming out from Complexity, interesting stuff. This is a popular pick, as we were just talking about in NEL. I'm wondering if they're going to go Puck mid with Spirit Breaker off, or if they're going to have Puck off lane with a Spirit Breaker as a 4. Don't know quite yet. I've never seen Complexity run this.
This is interesting. This is a hero that's very solid early game. He can actually rotate and just destroy everybody early on in the game. The question is how he transitions later on in the game. Like, what does he get? Can he get a BKB? Can he get an Urn? Can he get a Mask of Madness? How effective he's going to be in ganks later on down the road, maybe when you're 5-minning. He's a pretty solid hero. His bash is actually ridiculous early on in the game, but Complexity, like you mentioned, they actually had that Drow combo yesterday when they played against Wheelhouse. They lost 0-2 against it, and that would have been solid pick this game, but you mentioned the ban. I think that was a bigger ban than people might be thinking about. MeePwn making sure that gets out of the pool. They go for the Night Stalker again, more than likely in the offlane once more. For Simba, and I guess don't fix what isn't broke, so their 4th pick is pretty solid as well.
Well, to be honest, I don't think they won that game, though, because of the Night Stalker pick. I think it could have been a lot of different heroes, but they feel comfortable with it, and that's fine. If they feel comfortable with it and they like to play it, and they have things that they want to do with it, then that's totally fine. The silence is really good against Puck, for example. He's not that great against the other heroes. It's not like, oh, Night Stalker, the counter, but it's just as simple as they feel comfortable with it. I think Lion is really good against Spirit Breaker, so I'm kind of wondering why Spirit Breaker was picked up right now. I also think that Juggernaut's actually pretty good against Spirit Breaker because I don't think you can fully combo the Juggernaut with the Spirit Breaker unless you get a very, very early Puck Dagger. Maybe that's what they're thinking. But in general, Spirit Breaker is not that great against Lion. Disruptor picked up here for Complexity. It's not very good against Jug, actually. In fact, I was always a big Juggernaut fan before I'm going to be the hipster here for the cast and say I liked Juggernaut before he was popular. But I actually really like picking Juggernaut against Disruptor in particular because you can just spin away from the Glimpse.
5 seconds
So I think it's
remaining.
kind of curious that they pick up the Disruptor. Maybe it's against the Magnus, but yeah, interesting pick here for
Dire
complexity.
team
It feels
battle.
more like a counter or just to grab that, just to make sure to deny actually so MeePwn can't grab it because like Disruptor against Spirit Breaker is pretty solid. Disruptor against Puck is very good if the Puck is playing the off lane in.
Yeah, that is true. It's probably one of the best supports in the game against Puck.
Well, the Bloodseeker band coming out. I've seen this hero a couple of times recently. Pretty good hero, given enough room. And actually in the jungle is pretty solid as well. But for complexity, they get rid of said hero. Now the last pick coming out for both squads. A lot of actually carries banned from MeePwn. Carries that are generally annoying to deal with. You have the Lycan, the Drow, and of course the Faceless Void. So good stuff coming out from them. Their last pick's going to come out. They need another support here, and we'll see what they go for. There's plenty in the pool.
10 seconds
we'll see.
remaining.
Yeah, there's lots.
No,
Wait,
maybe not.
they're actually going to go Templar.
All
So
right,
it's
Night Stalker
Dire
support.
team
Let's
pick.
go.
Night Stalker support or Jug support?
I think it's Night Stalker support. I
or
can't.
TA support.
I mean, if it's TA support, I'm just gonna quit Dota. I think at that point, I'm just.
I'll tell you though, I know Hani, and I know he loves the Theorycraft, and he loves some really weird support heroes. So I wouldn't be surprised. For instance, I don't know if you saw the NEL game where he was playing support Morphling, but it friggin' owned, man.
Was it like a strength support
seconds
Morphling? Because like I've seen that in the pubs all the
Yeah,
time, and it's
it
actually
owned
super annoying.
so hard. He would just
5
like
seconds
rush a
remaining.
blink dagger and just get a guaranteed 4.5 second stun.
That stun race is ridiculous. You're literally stunned for like the entire time you're alive. You just die immediately afterwards. You can't do anything. It's like a long duration shackle shot, but worse.
Support Magnus, man, I swear. Okay, Excalibur's picking Juggernaut. Night Stalker for Simba. Wee's playing the Templar, so it's got to be a support
Oh
Magnus.
my god, dude! What? Why?
Mind equals blown, man.
I'm gonna get some skewers off. We're gonna kill some people. Like what? It is a Hani Magnus. I guess I just don't understand. But all right.
That's great. This is great. I love it.
I mean, I guess you have a game to work with. If this works, though, it's gonna be. I mean, we'll be singing their praises until the cows come home. But like for now, like complexity, are like okay, that's fine. We have a pretty solid draft. I think we can handle a support Magnus. Like the line alone feels pretty underwhelming. Line with a Magnus is like All right. Well, I'll reserve my judgment until the game gets underway. But for now, this is I just don't understand.
He's got boots
for
first,
battle.
and he's running down mid, trying to scout things out. What if he just goes for like some empower build level 1? He's just like, all right, Lion, I'm gonna empower you. You zone out, and I will pull.
It's like AA, honestly. It's like a chilling touch, but better sword. Actually, maybe I don't even know, dude. It's like maybe okay. It's probably the only way you can play because you're not going to be skewering anybody anytime soon. Like you're not going to get in a position where you can skewer somebody back, even with an Earth Spike. I just don't see that happening. I mean, maybe it's possible.
Let's see. His empower is 20% damage, right? So 20% of 50 is like 10. Yeah, it's not
Nice.
too bad actually.
All right, we got that extra 10 damage. Let's get some kills, boys. And actually, Excalibur's in some trouble. He's going to get charged. A 5-man gank squad, but there's the Blade Fury. Might be able to get underneath the tower. The Static Link is going to go, and Excalibur, I think, might feed first blood here. He's going to get glimpsed back, and that big glimpse pickup coming out at level 1. Excalibur is going to feed away first blood to Limp.
Oh
Well,
boy.
That's not the Magnus' fault, but still, though. He's done, and that actually provides a lot of gold for Limp early on in this game.
I didn't even see how that was happening. I was busy looking at this Magnus running around and theory crafting in my mind. Who, by the way, went level 1 empower, so he's looking to cliff somebody, but they're not going to find anybody, as they were all bottom. And they get the ward off in the main pole camp, so... I didn't see. Did they smoke down for that as well?
I think they just literally walked down lane as 5, and Excalibur just got caught out. I don't think there was a smoke. I might be wrong about that.
Okay. Oh, it's going to be just an aggro trial lane, or maybe just an aggro dual lane? Okay, it looks like an aggro dual lane with the Spirit Breaker and Vanish. Okay.
I'm not against that. I think that's okay. As long as the Magnus might come down bottom at some point, but yeah, he did go for a skewer. They were sure there was going to be contention over that top rune spot, and Hani seems a little bit disappointed walking back to the jungle. He couldn't get anybody on the cliff, and instead he'll have to try to... It's actually the aggro trial coming out for complexity. They actually have the disruptor here as well, and this is going to be a tough lane to deal with. And in fact, the charge on a pilot eye, the hex is up, the glimpse back on Pi, and he is in some trouble. Bash not there for Weetsu. He actually has charge, so he gets body blocked by Minus. He's going to fall regardless. Hani's here, but they can't really fight this. Excalibur is going to have to leave. Glimpse is available in 48 seconds, so they already got the kill on the line. And this aggro tri lane is now paying dividends. They've gotten the kill, 2 in fact, and, well, they'll continue to farm.
It's funny how they draft this support Magnus, and then Juggernaut also goes for the Quelling Blade build. So it's really greedy. They weren't expecting this aggro tri-lane at all, because you would never build this Quelling Blade if you were going to. So he doesn't have much to combat this tri-lane himself, and with having a support Magnus, you don't really have the punching power that you would expect to have. It looks like they're going to try to gank mid, which is going to be hard because this line doesn't have boots, and he's going to have to find an interesting route to take to get this Hex off. They're going to have to walk all the way around. Hani's just going to have to maybe get an open skewer himself, which he can maybe do. There's actually good damage from Wii coming out onto Limp.
He backs up. Is he gonna? He stuffs this out. He's just gonna eat his free, maybe walk back further. The smoke hasn't broken yet. And
I think they're gonna get him. Actually,
I'm watching this with great intent. Oh, he static links at the wrong time. The refraction. He's gonna head the opposite direction, and he's gonna skewer to the high ground. Hani won't connect. He'll try to body block, but Limp should get away freely. That gank did not work out well. And in fact, Z-Freak's coming around. He actually has a haste rune. He has glimpses as well, but they can't really find anything. So
it's because they don't have boots on this line. He's way too slow. Like the boots on the Magnus just doesn't do too much right there. Yeah, and they're roaming around and they know.
This is an awkward situation. Hani's got to head top. He has skewer in 5 seconds. Swindle's actually just get it. He has phase shift. He has illusory orb, and he'll take a bit of right click. This is just an awkward game, honestly. I don't really know what's happening.
This is so messed up, man. I don't know. And they are going on an Excalibur here towards the bottom, and
he's done.
He's probably gonna die. But this means they're gonna get a glimpse off.
Yeah, he's gonna get glimpsed in about 5 seconds.
They need to even.
He pops the healing ward, and they actually don't. Yeah, they just throw it on a kinetic field instead. This is not Excalibur's game, man. This draft is the weirdest thing. Skewer onto Swindle on the top lane. He'll illusory orb. He'll jump back in a couple of seconds. They actually miss the shockwave, and Swindle just salves up, and they actually go for it, like the dual lane out top, and Simpa's fine, but tri-lane bottom is a freaking disaster. That's the only way I can put it at this point in time.
And this mid lane, too, is like one of the worst for TA. TA is thought of as being one of the best mid laners, but I don't know if you remember TI4 EG picking TA into a Razor. Yeah. Thought they could make it work, and it was the worst matchup I've ever seen Arteezy play. I think he was like 25 CS down at like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, this is not easy for Weeha. I don't know if there's any real way they can come back from this mid lane disaster, even the bottom lane disaster. This is as much as MeePwn destroyed game number 1. That's how much they might get destroyed in game number 2 here, as Complexity have figured out MeePwn's draft heavily.
Yeah, they figured it out, man. Just let them draft their support Magnus.
They didn't have to do anything. They literally just said, "Adi, just go to work, buddy." But well. I mean, Excalibur is not getting any help in this bottom lane. This aggro tri-lane is destroying him. There's 21 CS. The most CS of the game is for the offlane, but actually aggro tri-lane offlane Spirit Breaker.
He might die again. They have to get this stun off fast, or kind of maybe juke his spin a little bit, but no, they can't find it. Bounty Rune picked up bottom. Pilot Eye, I think, picked up a regen or something. No, they bottled the illusion. Okay, never mind. For Weeha. So he's up to 8 CS. Razor, yep, 21. There you go. That's how this lane.
Hani's skewer Swindle the shockwave, but there's the silence coming in. They need a right click. They cancel the TB. Void comes in, and they get the kill. At least top lane's going well. I gotta say that skewer was underwhelming as all hell. That did nothing. That just pushed it back a bit further. Bottom lane, Excalibur getting dove. The spin's gonna come in. He's gonna try to TP. He actually might make it out.
Oh, no bashes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That 17% chance, though, is just not enough, apparently, for way too sexy.
It sucks because it's pretty good static 17% chance all across the board at all levels. So it's a pretty big value point at level 1. Actually choosing to level it up to get a little bit more damage and stun duration. I don't think it's that bad because with turn T it's done. So yeah, it looks like Hani wants to try to go for another skewer up here. They're waiting for him to orb aggressively and then rush him. Yep, there we go. They might go right now.
Sim is thinking about it. The creep wave is not really in their favor, and Hani's just saying, well, maybe not. Actually, they don't go for it. That was their opening.
They don't have complete vision of him, so. Oh,
Pilot
no.
Eye, don't walk up to the high ground here, dude. That is not the play. That is not the play you need to make in this mid lane. Weeha's going to go back mid. Luckily, neither of them walk up, but still, this is very dangerous. And they're going to jaunt away top lane Swindle Melons. They try to go for him this time, and he's not going to get caught out. And so, not a good start. Pretty miserable start, in fact, for MeePwn, and it just is probably going to keep getting worse. Excalibur is 12 CS to 30, or about 30 of way too.
Well, Weeha, he baits out a static link that does that collects no damage for Limp, so that's pretty good for him. They did just counter a ward here by complexity, but it was about to expire anyway, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I will say that the one bright spot here for MeePwn is that complexity's like their biggest carry is a Razor, and it's not that impressive anymore. I mean, it's still decent, but if MeePwn take this late, they will 100% win. I mean, one position Spirit Breaker isn't going to do that much. I'm sorry, but so we'll see. It's not totally terrible here from MeePwn. Obviously, they've lost the laning stage, but yeah, it could be worse.
This is going to take some time for them to get back into this game. Face Ship Silence is going to go, and Swindle is going to get caught out. Look at the damage coming out from Simba, the treads. That Void did some work. TP rotations, they cancel one. Minus finally leaves that bottom jungle. This allows Juggernaut to be a bit more aggressive in his farm, but still at 13 CS, so it's not like it matters. At least the top lane is going well for MeePwn. They have one lane going well for them, and that does provide some experience and levels coming out from Simba and Hani. So mid lane, Limp actually hexed up. The Earth Spike went, I think, already. Pilot Eye actually is level 2. He just got that level 2, and the Kinetic Field is not going to save his life. The slow from Simba's Void. He's going to get sent back with the Disruption, but the Glimpse, excuse me. At that point, it doesn't matter. They already got the kill, so.
It's actually even better. He TPs. Oh, wait, no, actually, they're being aggressive onto Pilot Die.
They're going to get the kill, and have Waitsu coming in with the giant Spirit Breaker. And, well, actually, they Dream Coil Weehaw. They don't actually do anything there. Coming mid is Simba. He actually walks back mid after getting glimpsed back. And another TP coming in. More rotations. And really, actually, they canceled the TP going mid. There's going to be the charge up. We had some trouble. Magic Missile already went, I believe, on his Simba. Now the Refraction is going to go. This is not the fight for MeePwn. Kinetic Field's going to connect to Weehaw. He has the Urn. Pilot Eye and Simba thinking about running at them. Simba's kind of low. No bottle charges left as well. And it ends up being like a 1-for-0. This does give room bottom lane and top lane for a couple of the heroes. Heine's going to finally get some room to work with in bottom lane. Excalibur, that's the most important thing. He needs some room. He has his phase boots now done. Oh, okay. All right, MeePwn, they're not dead yet.
Yeah, and Excalibur did cancel his TP mid, but it's because he saw that he's actually getting some space bottom, getting some good farm. Hani is actually level 6 with Arcanes now. I'm assuming he's going to buy. Yep, Arcanes for him. So pretty good timing for well, I don't even know what's a good timing for support Magnus, because I've never seen it. But
I'm pretty sure this has to be it.
Yeah,
I think this is probably the only timing.
Decent. Yeah, this is the only timing. There you go.
I never support Magnus. It's like that's some NEL shit right there. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
It really is.
I don't even think anybody in NEL would do this.
Did you see our dual roam bounty hunter Ricky combo with Grant the other day? That was great.
Yeah, the illustrious Grant. Did that work out?
No, it didn't work out at all.
Poor Grant, man. Like I see him like actually just wreck people early on in the game, and then he just gets destroyed later on in the game for like 90% of the games I see him in. He'll be playing like Spirit Breaker, and he'll get like 13 assists in the first 10 minutes of the game, and then he just loses.
And then you're like, you think he's owning, and then like 20 minutes later, you're like, holy crap, dude, you're like 4-18. Like,
what's what happened, dude? It's half the NEL players ever. Well,
Weehaw's getting some decent recovery farm with these Ancients. When they made this change, it's made Templar Assassin really, really strong. And he's actually got help from Hani with the Empower, too. So he's got some decent farm now.
And this is going to help him catch up. He's actually 32 CS. This game is not as bad as it was once looking, as we've mentioned multiple times. So over Simba getting caught out Static Link, he's going to... Oh, this TP might be huge. He's going to make it out. No! Oh, my God. Did he cancel that? No, he got glimpsed back at the last second by Z-Freak. Oh, man. He almost made it out alive without getting glimpsed. That was so close, but the glimpse comes out and actually stays right there. He'll go down. That's a big kill, because he's the most farm for the Radiant team by far, I believe.
Yeah, that was a pretty big kill. And they waste his TP, too. It isn't nighttime, so it's not the end of the world, but still definitely important. I'm wondering now with the change to Night Stalker if you should level up your ulti earlier on, just because it gets the nighttime rolling around quicker, you know?
That's what he did last game, actually, but he's not doing it this game.
Okay, well, maybe it's because he has a little bit more farm and wants to... Well, the silence is pretty important, I will give him that, so... And you don't want to run around with like level 1 Hunter in the night, you know. So I guess it makes sense. But I will say that the strategy now with the Night Stalker is to spam your ulti during daytime because it doesn't change it doesn't stop the duration of daytime. Yeah. So it's pretty good now. I really like how it works.
That's a huge change, I think, for the hero. And right when that change came out, he was picked a lot, especially by Virtus Pro Polar. Mm-hmm. Since then, he hasn't been picked as much necessarily, but he's still very, very strong. And,
yeah, before then when he was picked, and even to some extent afterwards, I was never really sold on the hero. I actually think it's a very, very good hero now. I think he's very, very effective. Especially when you get an Ags plus Gem. Like, you just see everything. Smoke Kinks will never work against an Ags Night Stalker. So, yeah, I really like the hero now.
Pretty solid. Midas is going to come out from the Templar Assassin, and I guess you have to go for this. I mean, this is... Midas for a TA is very, very common. The problem is getting it this late is kind of an issue. We'll see how it pans out, though, in the next couple of minutes. Again, you mentioned that if this goes late enough, that I mean, with a Templar Assassin and a Juggernaut, even like a Night Stalker to a certain extent, they're going to be able to outcarry Complexity by a lot, so... Top lane, Pilot Eye getting caught out, Kinetic Field, Magic Missile. Wow, they just jumped on him, and he dies within the span of a second. Poor Pilot Eye.
Poor Pilot Eye. I got distracted by the chat just saying wonderful things about Grant, so sorry about that.
I'm sure they are.
Grant, I love you, buddy. Shout out to Grant, who, by the way, I gotta give a nice rest in peace to his good dog Sid, who unfortunately passed away.
It's unfortunate, man. You hate to hear that. Regardless of whether you like people or not, dogs pass away. That's never a good thing.
Attack.
Bottom lane. Oh, Waitsu's getting ganked, actually. This could be huge. Behind his skewer, maybe the RP instead, and Waitsu's like, I need to leave. Void's going to go through. Silence as well. RP might need to be used here on... No, they actually cancel the TP coming in. They know they have RP. Mask of Madness finished up. The skewer just to finish it off, and actually Simba gets the kill. And they're going to try to push this lane. Meanwhile, mid lane, Swindle getting chased down. He's going to have to jaunt away. And all of a sudden, MeePwn are the ones putting pressure on Complexity across the map.
Did he just ulti on Night Stalker? Wasn't it already nighttime?
Yes, it was. I believe it just maybe entered nighttime. I'm not sure.
It's 4-minute increments, right?
Yeah.
So
that's kind of interesting. I guess it's helpful because it gives you the reduced enemy vision.
Yeah, but that's... I mean, they're not really doing anything right now, though. Kind of interesting to me. Anyway, top lane, there's a Hex onto Razor, but not going to have anything happen with that. The charge is coming out on a Pilot Die. Unless he stays here and farms by himself, I don't think they get the kill. But look at the farm on Excalibur. He's recovering nicely, too. Like, 70 CS for him at 13 minutes, despite what happened in the early stages of the game. Not too bad.
Yeah. Bottom lane, Minus actually gets voided. They have to TP in Waitsu, and they have to back up. Hani does have RP, Simba still. It's nighttime for him, and it's actually going to be nighttime for a bit longer. By the way, somebody did go for a Midas as well, so they're really going for this late game strategy. And I think that's the right choice because we talked about it. I mean, Complexity won't be able to stand up to this.
Yeah, they do not win in late game. Like, they have a one-position Spirit Breaker. To some extent. I mean, just the way they laned it, it kind of worked out that way. And then Razor, like I said, it doesn't feel like he packs as much of a punch as he once used to. He's actually really low next to Excalibur. Excalibur has an ulti. He can just kill him.
Just thinking about it.
That creep.
Yeah, the creeps are still in the way, but the Omni Slash is going to go, and the RNG doesn't bounce to the range creeps, and of course the neutral camp Juggernaut gets the kill. And he's going to walk away. He's actually getting charged, but I don't think Waitsu gets there in time. He might, but there is the Blade Fury for Excalibur. He's going to use it just in time, but the bash goes, and now there's going to be another strike coming in. The TP goes through, and Simba actually rotates in and actually gets glimpsed back out. The Magic Missile. Excalibur has to back away. He is alone, at least for the next couple of moments. But Z-Freak's going to walk right into Pilot Eye. There's the X going. Hani has RP, but he's going to just use his Shockwave. Fear Spike goes, and they turn two. And an interesting engagement. They completed that charge. And that actually, they shouldn't have chased that far. They went too deep. Swindle gets silenced up. The Faker comes in long range from downtown. Figures puck in the back of the head. That's a bit uncomfortable. And Pilot Eye gets the kill. Jesus.
That would have been cool if he could have phase shifted, though. I would have given an LD wow for that, for sure.
Wow.
But he didn't have vision of him. I was thinking, oh, they have wards, but it's actually the Radiant wards. And, yeah, that was just too much of a dive from Waitsu. Like, you should know, diving... First of all, I don't think he gets that kill even if he was really lucky with RNG bashes. I just think Juggernaut has a little bit too much in his stats. And then even if you do get the kill, that's at a tier 2, man. And they have time to react, and they did react. So, yep, all of these trades, whether even or not, and they're actually not even for Complexity, are just really hurting them because they are lacking in the late game, for sure. And they, like you said, they built Midas on 2 of the cores. And they actually have a Blink Dagger on Templar, and she's now making her way into a BKB too. So, you know, things not going too well for Complexity.
Weehaw is now the most farmed hero in the game, and he's been that way for about a minute and a half, or at least a couple minutes or so. And that's actually a huge issue. I don't know that complexity. As much as a fast start as they had, I don't really see them getting back into this game anytime soon. At least maybe with daytime, they can maybe get some room against this Night Stalker, but no. Excalibur finds Z-Freak, and he's got a kinetic field. He doesn't actually have mana for Omni Slash, but Z-Freak just runs away. They know a bad fight when they see one, and they get out.
Yep. Double Psionic Traps in mid, so that could be a lot of slow if they want to do something there, but Pilot Eye, he's not very close to his blink, but this is like a 4-position Magnus, so he's actually quite close to his, and that's going to be a little bit more important. He is maxing in power, actually, over Skewer. That's interesting to me. I think Skewer is not that much of a... I mean, I guess it's a value point in the sense that it does what you need it to do from level 1, but the distance buff from each level is actually pretty significant, so that's a little bit interesting. Even the damage, actually, I didn't even notice, is pretty significant in scaling, too. But so, yeah, in power, it's definitely going to be good for the Jug, and I guess it's actually pretty good for the Templar Assassin, too, because that damage from Sideblades is pure. So if you get hit with that from the extra damage from Templar, or sorry, from the Empower, it's pretty devastating, man.
And they've actually been giving it to Simba a lot as well. So really all that Hani needs to do is get a Blink RP, maybe a Skewer back, and then have his team do the rest of the work. Sideblades and Power is pretty disgusting with that combo. So Weeha's actually trying to take this Ancient Stack, and I don't know if they know this is happening. They're going to walk up to the high ground now, and Weeha takes a lot of it, blinks away, and they might try to contest this. Looks like they will. Glimpse coming back in. Uh-oh, Weeha in trouble. Static Storm's going to go. He's going to get bashed up. Refraction not going, and he does have buyback if they want to continue to contest this, but RP should be there if they decide to go for it. Empowering Haste is going to go. The blink away. Simba actually silencing Swindle. The Void's going to go, but he doesn't have Darkness. Excalibur, maybe an Omni Slash. Shockwave's going to go Phase Shift. Now the Omni Slash flies through. Minuts and Z-Freak both going to fall here to the right click. Triple kill for Excalibur. The Earth Spike goes and Limp gets fingered as well. The Void's up the silence. What a goddamn disaster. Complexity are going to lose 4 heroes. Ultra kill for Excalibur will not get the Rampage, however. Well, that is about as bad as it gets. Yeah, you got one, but they stayed way too long. They clumped up for that Omni Slash, and boom, Excalibur unleashes the beast on a Complexity. Oh my god.
That could have been all mitigated too if Swindle didn't run towards his team for the Juggernaut ulti to keep bouncing. It killed him, then killed the next target, then almost killed the third target. He almost got 3 kills in one Omni Slash. But there's just one more auto attack after that one. So it was a really devastating ult from Juggernaut. And it could have been mitigated if the puck just kind of walked upwards or sacrificed himself, but he ran towards his team, and his team was not worried about it at all, and they just all got owned by the Juggle. Pretty devastating. I don't even know if he was empowered for that. He might have been. Either way, that empower buff is going to be very, very strong.
If it was, then that makes sense. If not, then that's actually pretty frightening.
I mean, even if he wasn't, I wouldn't be surprised because he's got a Mask of Madness Yasha, and these are all very squishy heroes, except maybe the Razor and the Spirit Breaker. And even Spirit Breaker's not that tanky when he activates that Mom.
He gets actually blown up. The Mom is more counterproductive than anything for Witsu right now. Maelstrom done for Simba, and I mean, you have to go for the smoke gank if you're Complexity. Now you have to find something after that gank. I mean, if they lose another fight like this, I honestly think the game just might be over at that point.
It's just the problem when you draft heroes, or when you don't draft very many cores that can transition in the late game. This reminds me of EG at D2L. They just didn't have enough late game punching power.
Excalibur Blade Fury's away. Minuts as well as Z-Freak are trying to find a skill, and they just can't get it. There's going to be the side trap going through, and I mean, what about this 4-position Magnus, huh? It's working out now. Solid hero.
Yeah, man.
Good choice from Hani. Good work.
Pretty damn strong. 50% cleave, 50% damage. SNY picked up for the Jug, and look at his items now. He's recovered so nicely. I guess getting ultra kills doesn't hurt.
No, certainly not. Simba's going to TP into actually like 3 heroes. He's going to get Static Storm. He's going to get Kinetic Field. He's dead. He gets bashed twice by Witsu. They get the Tier 1 tower. They get the big kill as well. But
I don't know if they saw Hani TP in here, actually, because they didn't pursue behind the tower. Excalibur's looking for a kill. He could probably activate this Invis and look for something.
He's
not activating the Invis. Interesting. He's just running at them.
He says, listen, guys, you have nothing that can stop me. RP goes in, and they actually just right-click him down. No need for the Omni Slash. It's fine. We don't need that. We have Empower. What do you think's going to happen? Mid lane, actually, Dream Coil. Pilot Eye gets the fingers off. He phase shifts it, I think, but he still falls to Weeha. The BKB, the right-click, and Excalibur is now running it. He has the S and Y. He's got the Omni Slash. He has the Invis as well. He gets blocked by some creeps. Limp is in trouble. Omni Slash is going to go. Guess what? He is freaking dead. Double kill. Monster kill, in fact, for Excalibur with the Empower. It just wore off. Not that it matters. Oh, wow.
I wonder if it actually gets purged off by the static field, or it's not static field, but the static, the unstable current. Sorry, even with the ultimate. I'm wondering if that happens. I'll have to look.
He didn't have it after he came out of it. That's curious, actually.
But, oh my god, that Roche just gets disintegrated with the negative armor from Templar and all that jazz. And yeah, this is looking pretty grim for the Dire team.
Yeah, actually, Minus looks like I'm out of here. Goodbye, everybody. Excalibur and Simba continuing to push into the mid lane. The tier 2 tower is theirs for the taking. And well, for Complexity, they've lost a lot, and I think this might be the end of their run in DotaPit Season 2. The qualifiers not really going the way they maybe wanted it to, but at the same time, they've got to defend. They have some big team fight heroes. They have the Static Storm. They have the Dream Coil. They just need a dream team fight in order for them to maybe get something going their way, but even that seems desperate at this point.
They don't have the farming capabilities that MeePwn do. They don't have minuses. They don't have flash farming heroes other than even the Razor doesn't not that much of a flash farming hero. I mean, Plasma Field is pretty underwhelming as far as farming quickly, unless you have tons of stacks in your jungle, which they can't even get to. And yeah, the funny thing is if you look at the graph, they were never even that far ahead. Their highest lead was 2,000. Which is pretty minuscule in the whole, big picture.
They really blew up that aggro tri lane quickly. Well, hold that thought. Z-Freak's going to jump in and get killed. Now Limp is actually trying to Static Storm. Not that it matters. Respect's going to go Big Dream Coil. And actually, there's going to be the Nether Blast. Takes down the line. Simba backs away. I have the Storm going. Shockwaves up as well as Swindle backing away. And actually, Weehaw's caught between a rock and a hard place. He does have Aegis, but he's so far in that he actually might fall here. So far, a good fight for Complexity, and Weehaw's going to get bashed up and die. Now Excalibur's coming in. Omni Slash going through. He has the Empower. Pink Panda, Limp, both going to fall. Double kill beyond godlike. It's Swindle now in trouble. They could have went in earlier to help out the TA, but they actually just say, listen, we don't need the TA. Excalibur will carry for us. He'll kill 4 heroes, and then we're just going to back up to the tier 2 tower and take it. So,
God, this Empower Jug is so strong, man. Does so much damage, and he still has 4,400 gold to spend, so it's going to get even more deadly.
Chad is just spamming balance.
Balance knot.
Yeah, balance knot. That's great.
Actually, someone did say that. Okay, nice.
It's fantastic. This hero is actually just, it's pretty good, apparently. It's pretty good. Z-Freak might go for a glimpse back in Excalibur. Blade Fury's right at the end as he's supposed to. And actually just gets away. And Z-Freak says, you gotta be kidding me. Wow. Oh my god. Shout outs to David. I love you, buddy. LD. Alright, Empower, Hani going towards the bottom lane. Blink probably going for Force as well. Level 12, level 2 RP, and it's all falling apart for Complexity. And at this point, he really just for Excalibur has 5,000 gold. He needs to buy an item.
Yeah, I mean, he could buy so many different things. Basher seems like the most obvious to me, like Abyssal Blade. He could go for a Butterfly as well, which would be pretty good against Complexity heroes. This is a 5-man smoke.
Oh, he's invis! He's invis!
Yep.
They don't see him yet.
Them,
all right, they actually might get a kill on Weehaw. Or one of these supports. Ooh. Z-Freak, Observer Ward's out. They actually have a lot of vision in the enemy jungle. Basher is going to be the choice, by the way. Good call.
Yeah, they actually broke the smoke, but because Night Stalker was so fast in the nighttime, they ran away out of vision right when they placed the ward. So they're like, what the hell? Like, maybe they are thinking that someone's in Viz. But they do spot out the enemy heroes in the mid lane, just all camped here. They actually smoked themselves. I think this was spotted.
Excalibur saw them. Z-Freak's keeping
like,
away.
I'm out of here, boys.
Swindle is actually just going to make a nice play. Winning Rift, and he's going to...
Blink's on
They're not going to see him? Hani's like, wait, no, he's right here. The phase shift actually... Oh, he right-clicked Pylai Dive, and then he blinks away. Okay, he's fine. Okay, that was awkward. That was one of the weirdest situations I've ever seen, so...
Deso being picked up here by Templar.
Oh, God.
So more negative armor to work with this Juggernaut ulti. Oh, it's going to be sick. Can you imagine if he gets like a 5-man RP into Juggernaut with Empower ulti, into TA with a Meld Strike, Psy Blades on 5 heroes. This is Reddit theory crafting right here, man.
I mean, I can imagine some heroes are going to die. That's what I could imagine. They don't even really need all of that together. They actually only need Blink RP Omni Slash within power, and that's enough for them to kill all 5 heroes, probably. He has level 3 ultimate now. Desolator now up like he talked about, and yeah, for complexity, it's just you have to avoid team fights, and you have to smoke and try to find heroes, and maybe hope Excalibur makes like 3,000 different mistakes, because that's the only real way I see this happening.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much that this complexity squad can do with this draft, honestly. So this is the scary thing about drafting these. Oh, Excalibur.
Just hit him. Just hit him, dude. Magic Missile's going to go. Excalibur's still alive. Is he going to get his Omni Slash off? No, he falls. He's dead for 70 seconds. Buyback available. And they smoke right out of it. Weeha's like, maybe we don't want to fight this. Hani's sitting back with a Blink RP ready to go. But on the backside, they're going to wrap around, head in between the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 Swindle leading the way. And this is now a big fight coming out for them. They actually get the Dream Crawl, Waning Rift. The Lucior Pilot Eye is dead. Hani's still silenced up. RP gets canceled. Can't get it off. Excalibur buys back. He's looking for the Omni Slash. And right now he's just going to work on Pig Panda. And he actually gets glimpsed back. He gets glimpsed back. He TP'd in and he gets glimpsed. I thought the Omni Slash was going to go, but it wasn't there. And it's 3 dead on the side of MeePwn. Well, at least they get Z-Freak, though. They blow him up.
Nice one shot from Weed. Nice glimpse there by Z-Freak. Yeah, I was actually looking for him. Like, where the hell did he go?
Yeah, I thought it was Omni Slash, but no, he just didn't Blade Fury and he gets glimpsed back. So
I don't know why he didn't Omni Slash the BKB Spirit Breaker. I thought that was an ideal target. But
he wanted all of the heroes. I think he had a bit greedy there.
Yeah, definitely a bit greedy. I understand, I guess, why he did it, but I don't think it was worth it.
Yeah.
Nice glimpse there. And as you mentioned, like, he could have also just Blade Fury, like, to avoid that and then keep pursuing. I don't think they could kill him through the Blade Fury. That would be way too fast. They already expended most of their cooldowns, but that's a lot of gold there for Z-Freak, too. He got a Beyond Godlike, but he's only got 1,100. I don't know. Maybe go for the axe for him, but they're still in a very big rut. I think they got a lot of problems on this squad. BKBs are diminishing now for Razor. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That was his first one. So despite picking it up first, that was his only BKB that he used.
I will say they have 5,000. They had a 5,000 net worth swing in that team fight alone. Yeah. So that's the power of a big team fight like that.
They're gonna need like 4 more of those to account for the fact that they just don't have late game in their draft.
I mean, 4 more of those fights would be impressive. BKBs are going to start flowing out. In fact, you can see the Night Stalker picks his up, and there is at least an Aghanim's not coming up for the Razor, but a 28-minute Ags doesn't really do much, unfortunately.
That's not bad. It's really good damage if you can get the ult off going the whole time, but he dies in one Omni Slash for sure, especially with Empower.
I mean, that's the issue. They'll try to take the 2-2 tower top lane here, coming out from MeePwn. The other team, the Dire Team Complexity, will head and smoke the enemy jungle yet again. But this time around, they don't have as much vision, so they really can't try to find anybody here. In fact, there's nobody even close in this mid lane for MeePwn and Complexity.
Yeah, he'll probably get the Abyssal Blade on a Juggernaut, but what I've seen a lot of Chinese teams do actually at this stage of the game is get a Lothars onto the Jug. I think it'd be really effective in trying to single out that one hero that you're looking for. Especially, well, I guess this game they probably do have sentries for the TA, but even then, have to wait and see. Oh, they're actually pursuing.
You are dead, my nuts.
Yeah.
First hit bash, skewer. Nice Ghost Scepter. Void's going to come in. Empower. My nuts is going to swap and just waste a little bit of time. And Weeha gets the kill with his Desolator. Actually, Excalibur gets it. Roche is up, by the way, and I don't see them. This is going to die within the span of 3 seconds.
I'm going to say 7 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Good enough. And we'll call that even. Excalibur and TP's bottom. Actually, Z-Freak can glimpse him here if he really wanted to. He's actually going to get charged. What is this? The Static Storm is going to go Kinetic Field, and he's dead. He got passed out. He's going to be able to survive. He's going to Omni Slash.
Oh, no!
Wait, he's dead. Oh, the bash. Oh, my God. The alt chat. That's not fair. Oh, my Lord. Excalibur. Base Ice Frog saves his life yet again. Oh no.
That sucks. I mean, what do you do? Just don't attack him anymore? I guess what he has to do is like ulti and then like run around him to hit him to make sure that if he bashes him, he just goes, back in the other way. So, yeah, that kind of sucks.
That
Actually,
more
that
than
really
sucks.
sucks.
That more than sucks. That is a huge kill that they miss out on, and both of them die because of it. And they also lose their 2-2 tower.
That almost happened earlier when they ganked him up top before he popped back. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
But he just died way too quickly. But the same thing happened. But yeah, that's not good. And theirs is completed Abyssal Blade, as I expected. 4 staff here for Magnus. No surprises there. Yeah.
Is Minot's dead? I think he might be. He might just use his Ghost Scepter. Yeah, he's actually alive. He's baiting? What's happening? I don't think this is the right play. This is definitely not the right play for Minot's. And Excalibur gets another kill. He's dominating. I was like, there's nobody coming in. There's a charge, but it's really far away. That Ghost Scepter came out, and then he's just like, I'm going to stick around. Blink. Oh, Weehaw almost one-shots the poor puck, and he actually just blinks away. Swindle will make it out, but for how long will he survive is the real question. Excalibur is on the hunt. Shockwave misses. Elusive Orb's going to go through. Oh, he's on the high ground. He's on the high ground. Darkness goes. Do they have vision up on the high ground? I don't think so. They're actually not there with the Night Stalker. Z3 picks up the double damage rune, but this is going to be the beginning end. They're going for the tier 3 tower. The Elusive Orb is going to go in. They have 3 heroes, all of which I believe are empowered. Weehaw is a freaking Desolator. Excalibur has Omni Slash ready to go yet again with an Abyssal Blade. Hex is up, and Limp is actually just going to die.
Oh
it takes
my
about
God.
3 hits. He's the probably tankiest hero in the game. He dies within seconds. Swindle comes in, big Dream Coil, but he dies in 2 hits. Waits is going to come in. He might have a better time. He's like, listen, I'm pretty tanky. Weehaw just pops off the BKB. Now the Static Storm going. Excalibur comes in. Omni Slash is going to jump through to some unfortunate heroes. There's the Ghost Scepter. Excalibur actually doesn't have a second life. He's dead. BKB goes in, but there's the swap. Limp taking the Desolator strikes. Midas in some trouble as well. Ghost Scepter on cooldown for 20 seconds. Limp actually gets the kill, but there's the finger going in. Simba picks off the Vengeful Spirit as well, and they're going to blink into the well. Wow, Weehaw blinks into the well, but that is it. That is GG. MeePwn take a quick 2-0 victory over Complexity. Complexity not their best series, but MeePwn strutting their stuff with a 4-position Hani Magnus coming out, and that was quite the game.
That bash is pretty funny. I'm sad Excalibur didn't micro his healing ward that entire time. I think he could have lived there. But it doesn't matter. He ends the game with a pretty impressive 16-4, despite the horrible start he had, not getting anything in that bottom lane. I can't really say like they won because of like the support Magnus. Wow, so smart. I think it was more of they took the game slow when they needed to. They farmed up. They stacked the Ancients for the Templar Assassin. When they were taking engagements top, like Excalibur knew that he could farm freely. They just played a lot more smart. They played around their draft, whereas Complexity didn't. Like Complexity needed to take towers, and I see a lot of teams fall into this all the time, where they're like, "We're going to be ultra aggressive. We don't need no carry. I'm a strong independent team that don't need no carry," and they never take the bottom tower when they go aggro tri-lane. Like I think that is of the utmost importance when you're going aggro tri-lane. You need to take that tower and take the resources away from their jungle, and they didn't do that. I see a lot of teams just fail and forget to do that. And so when they are rotating their supports around, which they did a lot, like Z-Freak and Minuts were roaming all the time, it gave more space to the Juggernaut to just farm safely down there. So nicely played by MeePwn. A little bit questionable draft from Complexity again, but yeah, it was fun to see these early empowers coming up from the support Magnus from Hani.
Excalibur probably just had the most fun out of any person in this series. The first game he hit some big Kronos. The second game he survived in some places he probably shouldn't, and his Omni Slash went to work. So pretty much one of his best series, and Excalibur becoming a driving force for this MeePwn team. They'll move on into the next round of the playoffs, or rather the qualifiers, I should say. Again, my name is Juan. With me today is Tralf, and of course, Modpacks our stats man. NIP versus Basically Unknown. Well, we have about a 2.5-hour break before that gets underway, so maybe grab some lunch. We'll take a break. We'll be back in a while, I suppose, and then hopefully get into that game as quickly as possible. But again, thanks for joining us on DotaPit. The Compendium Plus ticket is in the store, $9.99 for those of you interested in picking it up. We also have Treasure of the Hallowed Land, a $2.50 chest, which comes with some really great sets. And I also want to point out that, by the way, both of these items go to the prize pool. The proceeds go to the prize pool, at least some of them. So Highly recommend it. We'll jump into a quick break, guys. We'll get into the next series as quickly as possible. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back later.